Aloha, my name is David. Welcome to the 7th Direction. The show is called the 7th Direction because in Native American philosophy they have 7 directions. All of the ones we're familiar with, north, south, east, west, up and down. And then to the Native Americans, the 7th direction, which is inward. So we're going to go ahead and focus on that specific direction for most of the content of the show. You'll see as we go that all connects. If we do it right and if we're wise, it all connects exactly to the rest of the directions. That's kind of the whole point. We're definitely going to approach things from the perspective that if we have ideas or we have a philosophy that does not help us live a better life, the life we're living right now, help us make better choices, is not really helping us. So I'm going to try to be as utilitarian and practical as possible. That being said, I'm actually better in an individual's situation. I'm better if it's a group. It's better as a question and answer format. I don't have a naturally evangelical sort of pitch, you could say, around these ideas. That being said, I am following a linear line of thinking that's actually laid out. I have a book called Heart of a Child. It's not a sales pitch. It's available on Amazon. If you want to see these ideas written down and be able to go back over them in words, written words, if you want to, that's up to you. Go ahead. Was only explaining that book is laid out in a logical thinking format. It has basic tools that you use at the beginning, and then you sort of build on those tools as you go along. So when you're watching, it's not exactly that it has to be watched in a sequence, but if there are parts of something that I say, or if I refer to concepts that you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's probably something that's come from a previous episode. So I guess along those lines, I will go ahead and try to label the episodes correctly if I can, make things as easy as possible. You'll have to, sort of on that note, forgive the kind of casual surroundings and environment. Is going to be a casual thing. It's I'll do my best to get some content on here for everybody, and we'll just go from there. So let's just dive right in. I mentioned earlier that we don't have to give up our thinking mind, our reasoning, our ability to use logical sequential progression to figure anything out. So we'll start with that. We'll start with the hardcore stuff, which is Blaise Pascal. Now, for people who do not know Blaise Pascal, Blaise Pascal, he is the founder of probability theory. He's French, and was a friend of René Descartes. Descartes is often referred to as the founder of modern thinking. And the concept of modern thinking means, do you take the ideas that you may have encountered during spiritual or faith-based exercises, and you take those ideas and you put them together with your own physical experience, and you put both of those together equally, and it helps you kind of work out what's actually going on. So as you see from around you in today's modern society, that's the way we approach things typically. So we can say that Descartes was fantastically important, and of course his friend Pascal, who had some huge contributions to the field of mathematics, was equally important. But in this case, we care about Pascal's contribution to exploring our internal landscape. And the cool thing about this is Pascal used his ability to think in terms of logic and mathematics, and he applied it to his real life. And again, that's kind of the philosophy I like to follow, so I think that is just fantastically cool. And the way that he did it was, He said, simple question, he said, should a man believe in God? So let's kind of update that to modern thinking and say, are you more than you look like when you look in the mirror? Is there more to you than just this physical body, bunch of chemicals and water all mashed together and so on? So when you look in the mirror, is there more to you than that? Is than what you see? That's the fundamental question that Pascal is asking. And he approached the question this way. He said, well, let's suppose that I believe and I live my life according to the idea that I am nothing. That when I die, nothing happens. That's it. My heart stops, my brain stops, and I disappear. Let's suppose that that is actually the philosophy that I use to live my life, and I turn out to be right. I will never know. I'll be gone. I won't be able to pat myself on the back and go, gee, what a genius. Poof, I have ceased to exist. Now let's suppose, on the other hand, that I live my life according to the idea that I am more than I look like and feel like. Let's suppose I'm wrong, and I'm actually not more than I look like and I feel like. If I'm wrong, I'll never know. I'll be gone. Poof. So from this perspective, to be right about being nothing, or to be wrong about being more than what you look like, is the same outcome. In other words, flipped on its head, let's suppose you are more than you look like in the mirror, and you pursue this path. What do you have to lose? If you are wrong, you will never know you're gone. But if you're right, maybe there's more of you that you can somehow bring to this experience. A different level of understanding, a way of being able to see things where the world makes some sense to you. So to follow this line of thinking costs you nothing in the end. So the question is, can your ego, in the meantime, stand it? Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not wasting my time, this is something that's important, this is something that matters? And my answer is, yeah, for 15 minutes a day, yeah, you probably could tell your thinking, critical, always skeptical mind to just be quiet for a minute or two, and you could take a few minutes to explore some different ideas, and you won't die during the 15 minutes. So if you can just manage to have this basic conversation with yourself, and you can jump into Pascal's wager. Now here's the trick. What Pascal is actually saying is, the bottom line is, so if you can perceive that you are more than you believe, and there is in effect no risk, right? So if you perceive that you are more than you think you are, and you're right, who knows what you could do? Maybe you could walk on water, or talk to the animals, or who knows, cure people. There's no way of knowing without exploring what you are. So if you can do that, you have a chance to discover something wonderful about yourself, and in the end, from Pascal's perspective, there's no risk. If you're wrong, oh well, you'll never know. And again, to believe in nothing and to be right doesn't get you anything, and you might have missed a tremendous opportunity to actually make more out of your life experience than what you currently perceive as possible to make out of it. So that's the essence of what we're going to be doing on the show. We're going to be taking those ideas and diving into them, because Pascal would say, it's called a wager, remember. It's famous. You can Google it. It's called Pascal's wager. And what he's saying is, where do you place your bet? More than that, how much do you bet? And so from Pascal's perspective, because there's no risk and who knows, possible infinite reward, you bet everything. You live everything in your life according to the idea that you are more than you look like when you see yourself in the mirror. What is that something that you might discover? Well, that is what we are going to be talking about as we go on in our seventh direction. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this little introductory appetizer, as we would say in Hawaii, a little poo-poo. And I will upload this and some more stuff in the coming days, and we'll see how it goes from there. I hope you're having a good day. Aloha.